Today's movie is Strange Affection. Let's meet Charles, a very handsome but arrogant young man with a bad temper. He is a rich man's son who fell out with his parent and has been forced to study in Nigeria. And this is his girlfriend, Nancy, same attitude with a Barbie look. She has decided to move in because her dorm is being renovated. This is Sharon, she just joined the university and has to stay with Amanda, her cousin. Her mother warns her not to get involved with boys, a typical African mother. When Sharon returns to the room, the vulture in Amanda comes out. Sharon finds her eating her cereal. The first night in school for both Charles and Sharon is terrible. On one hand, Charles fumes on Nancy, while on the other, Sharon is forced to sleep on the floor by her cousin. To make up with Nancy, Charles calls her to take her and her friend out. On the way, he splashes water on Sharon as she walks back from classes. When Sharon spots his car, she punches his tires, ruining the girls' outing. Charles vows vengeance. They get to see each other the next day, and Charles tries to stop her but she kicks him. When Sharon reaches her room and barges in on Amanda, her boyfriend, she leaves quickly and waits outside. Charles decides to put his plans into action. He requests Amanda to kick Sharon out of the apartments. In return, he will help her graduate. Amanda does so only for Nancy to find Sharon sleeping outside and decides to help her by inviting her to stay with them as long as she does the house chores. While Sharon is snooping, Charles sees her and gets angry. But Nancy tells him that it's his perfect revenge plan if she stays. He agrees, planning to make her pay. The humiliation begins when she serves food. She is requested to taste it first, insinuating that she poisoned it. Second, he demands her to clean his car before going to school, which makes her miss her test. But even though Charles wants revenge, he offers Sharon a lift home from school and even forces her into the car. But the ride doesn't come for free, because he gives her a lot of clothes to wash. But in truth, Charles is a good guy because he regrets his actions when he finds Sharon crying cause of him. And when Nancy becomes violent towards her, he defends Sharon. This leads him to say sorry to Sharon, which shocks her, and in return she also apologizes for her wrongs, and a new friendship begins. They start watching movies, of which Nancy gets jealous. She should, because, at one point, they almost kissed. The opportunity for this friendship to blossom arrives when Nancy leaves for a trip. They start talking and Charles starts to confess his love and they kiss. And like in all movies, Nancy walks in to find them together in bed. Charles tells Nancy that he loves Sharon, but Nancy snitches on Charles about what he planned with Amanda. Sharon, while crying, leaves and returns to her mother's house. And Charles and Nancy break up. Sharon tells her mother all that has happened, but she forgives her. All these events have made Charles gain the courage to call his dad and apologize. He also decides to see Amanda to find out the whereabouts of Sharon. Charles locates Sharon, and although the mother is skeptical about him, she leaves the two to talk. With his apology, he wins Sharon's heart and they kiss. That was Strange Affection, another love story well done.